So I'm going to talk a little bit about me just to kind of familiarize with who I am and why I'm here and really why I do what I do. But it's an honor for Matt and Mark to ask me to come down. We've been really bonded over the last year through UAC and got to know each other. And you know, I know Majors has spoke, and you know, we like to use the brothers from different mothers, sisters from different misters type of thing. But we really, when you innately connect with people that are on the same mission as you, it's like you've known each other your entire life. I'm going to be 40 in a couple months, and it's like I've been a childhood friend with Mark and Matt. So thanks for having me. So I want to talk about, you know, really, like he was saying, he's got 5 patients that went to a training, and 3 of them are going to become DCs. I want to talk about building a legacy practice, because really, in my opinion, what good is it for us to show up every day, adjust people, change their lives physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever, and really not leave a legacy for ourselves, but for them? There's nothing better in practice to have generations of kids coming in, to have a family member come in, and the kids, we all know that there's a lot of disruptive families out there, and we fill that role, you know, as male DCs, as a father figure. Hey, Miles, good to see you, man. Hey. But there's nothing better, nothing more fulfilling to help them not only go the right direction with their health, but to have them come in and celebrate graduations, first jobs, engagements, marriages, and whatnot. And that's really about, you know, creating a legacy practice. So it's not just that one person you're seeing, but you're seeing generations of families coming into you and really impacting who they are and who they're going to become in society. Because if we just adjust that one person and keep them clear, it's a miracle. But if we can adjust that entire family and adjust their thinking and the way they're living, we're going to impact our community and our world at large. So to kind of help you guys understand how I've gotten here and why I am who I am. Oh, and Ricky, I'm going to leave my shirt on. Is that all right? I went and got this tonight at Nordstrom's just for. He wanted me to take it off, but I think I'm going to leave it on. I've gotten some sun. I was on vacation last week with my family in Palm Springs, and then I drove over here Saturday afternoon. So I've gotten a little bit of sun the last week, but had it been a week ago, you really wouldn't have seen me because it's Casper the Friendly Ghost light. So anybody want to guess which one's me up there on the top left for you guys? Number one, I wish. I've gotten a lot lighter too. Yes, 50. So, and the reason I put that up there is I know Matt talked about, or Mark, whomever talked about me playing ball. That's a picture at University. We were playing University of Tennessee. Actually, Peyton Manning was a true freshman riding the pine at the time. But that's really where how I've become what I've become. Is I've been involved in sports since I was a little dude, and my work ethic, my team commitment, my go the extra mile mentality to go out and do this type of thing has developed from the things that I've learned since I was, you know, could walk and doing sports. And college sports is a great opportunity for people to become a better person than they are. Anybody want to guess how much I weighed in that picture? 250? Thank you. 265? Thank you.
Kind of far away.
And it's small. I was 285 at the time. So it's kind of big. And then this is my family, my wife, my son, and my daughter, and that's really why I get up every day, outside of keeping people clear, is so that they can live in a better world, right? Because there's nothing worse than thinking about your kid going to school with kids that are on Prozac, right, that are going to shoot up a school. We need to get up and get inspired and get fired up and really understand who we are and how powerful what we do is. And tonight I'm going to give you guys some science, because I've found with the years of coaching docs that a lot of them really get what we do, but they don't get what we do, if you know what I mean. Meaning that they don't own it enough that they will get outside of their box, outside of their 4 walls, and tell the story. Get a little bit what I'll call compassionate, where you're compassionate, but you're pissed off because that next kid is taking a med and is going to shoot up, you know, your kids' classmates or whatnot. So we need to carry that passion with us, but at the same time, you know, get a little pissed because what's going on out there is not right. It's not, and it's our job because we know the truth, right? And if we're not sharing that truth with every person we come in touch with, then we're not doing our job. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. Right? And so we hold that, and it's our job to get out and share that truth. All right. So and then chiropractically speaking, these are mentors of mine that have really helped me become the chiropractor that I am. You know, God, family, and chiropractic is kind of what I teach our clients. You know, so obviously Christ has a big role in my life, but Ronio, I started coaching Ron, you know, and there's no excuse. I don't care who you coach with. Everybody needs a coach, and I don't care where you're at in practice. And I don't want to hear, I can't afford a coach. I started coaching Ron 6 months before I opened my practice. Right? Write those checks. Right? And back in the day, Ron's like, stroke me 12 checks for $650, $700, 13 years ago, or whatever it was. You remember what it was? No. Anyhow, point being is I was committed to becoming who I was chiropractically, and so it was worth it to become. And I know I'm going to share some things tonight that some people might not like, some people might like, going to resonate with others. Maybe you don't resonate with Ron, maybe you do. But to me, he was a huge mentor in becoming who I was. And then Ben Lerner, everybody knows Ben, Maximize Living, I'm assuming. Everybody have heard of Ben, right? He really took me to the next level. Ron, I'm going to try not to talk about numbers, but Ron got me to a very large practice in a very short amount of time, and was stabilized there for about a year. And then I started coaching with Ben, took it to the next level, worked with him for 3 or 4 years, and then with Dr. Schiffman when he broke off and started his own thing. And so really those men are who have helped me become chiropractically speaking who I was. But it started when I received my first adjustment when I was 13 years old. All right, and Dr. Rob used to talk about how man, the physicals connect with the man, the spiritual. I literally had that experience when I was 13, got my first adjustment, and I knew at that time that I would be doing this exact thing. And you can ask my wife. I met her when we were freshmen, and I told her when I was done doing this that I would be doing this, because everybody needs to know what we have. At 13 years old, I got that. I was just spiritually connected and said, I'm going to be a DC. And it was from a toughness doc. So it doesn't matter what technique you do, right? I'm serious, it doesn't matter what technique. You are changing people's lives. So do not devalue who you are and what we have to offer, because you don't know who's going to be the next me, who's going to be the next student that's going to go to school. And it's going to change thousands of lives throughout their career. All right. Good stuff so far? What? What?
Off the clutch, man. Let's go.
Is it Frossom? Does anybody know what Frossom is? Freaking awesome. All right. I've given you guys 2 words tonight, right? Compassionate and Frossom. Write them down. You like compassionate better? All right. I actually had a pastor friend that taught me Frossom. He uses it in his services. So, all right. So what defines you? Right? What defines who you are in chiropractic? We're all different, right? We all have different missions. We all have different purposes. But what is defining you? If you want your practice to grow to the next level, and again, numbers aside, it doesn't matter if it was placed in your heart to see 100 a week or 1,000 a week, what was put on your heart and what defines you? So when your vision is clear, the mechanism will appear. Right? A coach should be your accountability partner. But if you have a clear vision of how you're supposed to serve our profession, it'll happen. How many of you in here have a clear mission? How many of you have written down your mission statement? Right? That's like 1/10 of the room. How about your purpose statement? Again, about 1/10 of the room. Right? If you don't have your roadmap, how do you expect to get where you're supposed to be? It's smoke and mirrors to say, I want to do X and not have it written down and meditating and reading it on a regular basis. That's what I'll call apathy chiropractic, because you want and want and want and want, but aren't writing it down and putting it in concrete of how you're going to get there. Are you sharing that with your team? Right? Does your team know what your mission is? Is your team on the same mission? Right? If there's any incongruencies in a team, right, the team is going to go down. Everybody has to be congruent with where you're going to go. So that when, like my team, this month, we have, and God bless them, we have like every weekend, we have an event. This weekend while I'm gone, like the next 4 weekends in a row, we have an event and we're going to take a 3-week break. But just so happened that April is a rockin' month for us. We got talks and screenings and all this stuff just all happened at one time. But the only way that that's going to get accomplished successfully and not go through the motions is because we're all on the same mission. We all understand how important it is to help people, right? And it's not, yes, the blessing on the backside is practice volume, financial success. You can have a legacy of nice houses and families and cars and things that you enjoy. Those are the roses for hard work, right? But you have to be on the same mission. If your team, and really, you guys, if you haven't done a quarterly or a 6-month sit down, and that mission should be changing as your practice grows and evolves and becomes different every single day. You guys need to meet and rewrite those mission statements and reread them and get congruent with them so that when that new patient comes in, they're hearing the same story, the same mission from every single person on your team. From the time that they hey, this is Bridge Chiropractic, how can I serve you today, or whatever's going on, so that it's one mission, one purpose, one statement. And do your patients know this, right? Or do the inmates running the asylum? Right? We all talk about wellness practices, and unfortunately in our chiropractic world, we attract people through pain. But if you're not doing your job to educate them on lifestyle and wellness and chiropractic, then you're missing a huge portion of it. I'm sorry, I can't remember. What was your name? You told me at dinner. Mo, right? Yeah. Right. He was talking about being symptomatic the last couple weekends, and so at dinner we're talking about the chiropractic lifestyle. I said you got to start getting adjusted, and he's like, get adjusted like once, and I'm like, no, it's a lifestyle, right? It's repetitive. It's like brushing your teeth, right? But if you're not communicating to your patients within the first 6-7 visits of who you are, do you think they're going to commit and follow through? No, they have to understand. They have to be compliant. And in an exam, and we're going to touch on some of these procedures for you guys tonight, but in an exam, if they're not on the same page, dismiss them at that time, politely. Because there's nothing worse, in my opinion, than the patient getting up, you're velvet hammering them over the next 5 or 6 visits, and then they get upset and leave, and don't, because they aren't congruent with your type of practice. It's a way bigger headache, and we all have a certain amount of number of people we can see our procedures. We're going to be at a capacity, so it's better to not have that person there and leave the doors open for abundance to the chiropractic world to send you another new patient that's congruent with your belief systems, right? So if they will follow through, they will be the next DC to be. They're going to spread this story. They're going to get out and get on board with who you are. So I want to read you something. Anybody heard of, some old timers might have, Tom Morgan? You know Tom Morgan? Right, there's 3 people. Volume practice, yes. He actually still coaches old timer. But I want to read you, this is called I Am a Chiropractic Soldier. And so I want you guys to think about this tonight and this is just, I kind of resonate with this. But I want you guys to kind of to take this to the next level. So it says, I'm a chiropractic soldier. It says, I am dedicated to chiropractic pioneers, past, present, and future. Future's all of us, right? We're the future of chiropractic. We have new leaders, Matt, Mark, myself, stepping up and making change in our profession. Unfortunately, guys like Reggie, Sid, some of these guys are getting older. They're not going to be able to travel as much. They're not going to be able to impact as many people. We need to carry that torch. So really listen. It says, I'm a chiropractic soldier. I fight medical degradation and ignorance about chiropractic. I have been taught by chiropractic warriors, trained by experience, tried by adversity, and tested by fire. I am a volunteer in this army. All of us were volunteers. We are here to serve. It says, no one made me go to chiropractic college or practice chiropractic. I have enlisted for all eternity. I will retire from this army or be silenced by age, but I will never get out, sell out, be talked out, or pushed out. I am faithful, reliable, capable, and dependable. I know that I can be used by God in this work. I am there. If there is a patient who needs to be adjusted, I am there. If there's a DC who needs teaching and counsel I can give, I am there. If there is a leadership role for me, I am there. If there is no leadership role, God can still use me in this work because I am there. I believe that God gave the Palmers an innate principle in chiropractic that is given for His people, and God has factored me into this true health plan. I believe that my purpose is to adjust and clear out my patients and instruct them about health and where it originates. I locate subluxations, adjust, and teach hope and innate healing concepts, whether they're rich or poor, whether they pay or not, whether they appreciate it or not. I do not work for money, and no one can pay me for an adjustment. If so, I wish. I am so committed, so passionate, compassionate, so anxious to correct the next subluxation that my healing persona attracts large numbers of patients who need my adjustments. I believe that each patient who comes in is from God, and that I have His hope with me in the exactness of His innate intelligence to heal and maintain normal physiology. I stand up and speak out for this principle and never accept a secondary role when it comes to sickness or health. I believe that everyone should be tested for subluxations and adjusted for life. I am not a baby. I do not need to be pampered, pepped, primped up, pumped up, picked up, or pepped up. I do not need to be cuddled, cradled, cared for, or catered to. I am a chiropractic soldier. No one has come to me. No one has to call my office. No one has to remind me, write me, visit me, entice me, or lure me. I am a chiropractic soldier. Whatever it takes to put chiropractic message across, I am ready to give and get it done. I am committed to this duty, and I never give up. Do not let anyone make me negative about chiropractic. I do not lose faith in innate or the adjustment because healing or pain relief is not quick enough. No one can degrade chiropractic without me taking a stand. I cannot have my feelings hurt bad enough to make me turn around. When I signed up for chiropractic, I had nothing. If I end up with nothing, I still came out ahead. I will win because I am a soldier. My God has and will continue to supply all my needs. I take credit for my mistakes I have made and suffer through my symptoms when I have overstressed my body. I am committed to being a better adjuster, better doctor, a better encourager, a better teacher, a better student of the chiropractic principle. Health politics cannot defeat chiropractic. Leaders cannot delusion me. They cannot merge, mingle, or maim the chiropractic principle enough to make me quit. Fraudulent practices in healthcare cannot weary me. Insurance companies, how much insurance companies have down here, right? Almost none. Who devalue the adjustment and long-term care cannot beat me up. Money cannot change me or buy me. Governments cannot silence me. I am a chiropractic soldier. I was given chiropractic as a life's work. Life's work. I will be faithful, even death cannot destroy me. For I will live on in my family and my friends who are soldiers and in the memory of those whom God has led me to help, encourage, train in this army. Together we will never give up. We will never turn around. We will never settle for drippings from the medical table. We will never let healing principles be lost into medical treatments for symptoms. We will never stop until the true unity in our ranks. That's why I'm here. We will never stop vital research of the subluxation complex. We are soldiers, here we stand. We need to step it up, people. We need to play big, as our mentor, Pat Gentempo, says. Right? Because it is progressively getting worse. I'm going to show you some stats tonight. But what defines you? That defines him. That defines a lot of who I am. You need to figure out what defines you. And be grounded in your principles. Should I throw out a challenge? Who can give me even the name of the first principle? What's principle number 1? All right. That's right. Thank you. But that's 2 people. All of us need to get grounded in our principles from who we are and why we're here. Yes, we've evolved as a profession, but that is still who we are. Right? Do you fully believe in what we do? Right? I'm not an advocate of scare care. Right? But what's the difference between subluxation and cancer? Time. There's no difference, you guys, and you have to understand that. And if you don't understand it and you don't own it, I'm going to give you some research, but dig. Right? Matt's, your guys' shirts, right? What's the quote? It's who dug the well for don't forget those who dug the well for you. Right? Dig. Do your research and understand that it is just a matter of time in all disease. Yes?
I heard the 34 principles this weekend.
Yeah?
Talking to Dr.
Uh-huh.
Roses are red, violets are blue, subluxation's pink.
Nice. I actually just watched his, did you climb the mountain with him? I just watched his video before I came here, climbing up on YouTube. He put a video of him, you guys climbing up the steps, that mile-high climb thing. Did you do that with him? Right, you guys, it's time. And you don't have, and again, I'm not an advocate of stair care, but understand that subluxations over time are destroying people's health. Right, we know, right, 100% nerve supply is health. Anything but that is not health. You're not going to die tomorrow. You might, but over time, you're going to get sick, and you're not going to live the way you're supposed to live. Right? So understand that, and you can't, until you understand that, until you own it and can get up and teach it like this, your people aren't going to fully understand it. And I think I'm pretty good at doing this, and I've been practicing 13 years, and I still have people who don't fully understand. And that's why it's important that you get up every day and study. Constantly be a student and get involved and understand why you're here and the significance of what we do and the significance of subluxation in the spine. The research is there, and more is coming out, and it's not by chiropractors, it's by MDs. They understand the principle more than us in some instances today. Right? And they don't have the stinking fear about telling the truth. Yet all of us, I'm a DC, I'm going to hide, I'm not going to stand up for myself. Right? Become a soldier, get the facts, and always be a student. Am I getting too fired up? You guys okay with this? There's nothing for me to punch. All right. So the 33 principles in the green books. Do you study them? Right? Are you going over them with your team? We're going to talk about it a little bit later. But DCs, I love you guys, but your team sees your patients twice as much as you do. Right, Ricky? So he better understand that principle more than Dr. Mark, or almost as equivalent as Dr. Mark. Because they see him on the way in and on the way out. And who do they talk to more? CAs. So if your CAs don't understand those principles of why you guys are there, your patients aren't going to get it. Because how much time do you spend with your patients? Dr. Matt?
2-3 minutes.
Anybody else? Seconds, right? When you start seeing a lot of people, all right, BJ said if you're spending more than a minute with them, right, you're wasting their time or whatever it was. Right? Depending on the practice, the technique, the style. But your CAs need to understand the principles like you understand the principles because they see them twice as much as you do. These green books and these principles, and we're going to talk about how the AMA has twisted what we do and has given that to somebody else. Again, another article mentor of mine, Pat Gentempo, gave me. Right? But this separates us. This distinguishes us from all other professions. And they're wanting to steal it because they're finding out that what we do, what? Works! What we do works. And they want what we have. So until we stand up, go get involved in the legislative stuff to prevent these stinking PTs wanting to do weekend courses and learn. How many people have seen somebody that's been to a PT and they hurt them? Every one of us. Right? Would you trust your kid with them? Right? And like Billy D says, if you're not seeing kids, we're going to talk about it, you suck. Start seeing kids. 30 to 40% of my practice is kids. Who gives a rat's butt about their parents? Really? Because if you can talk life into that kid and teach them principles at a young age, right? So they can be like, how many DCs in here have kids? Right? Well, yours aren't old enough yet. But when they're going to school and telling their kids, my son, who just turned 11 a couple months ago, gets teased because of the way he eats. Logan, you're so healthy. Why do you eat all that salad stuff at lunch? Right? Why do you he's like, well, you shouldn't get the flu vaccine. That's bad for you. Right? He does, I'm telling you. And so we don't want other people stealing what we do. Right? This is why we're here. This is our chiropractic family. We want, it'd be great for us to go buy an island and all of us to live out there, right? No drugs, no vaccine. We'd be like this perfect world, right? But that's not reality, and it's our mission to help everybody else understand the lifestyle that we have. So they can work 13 years without missing a day of work, right? And I am more extreme than, I can almost guarantee than most of you guys in here as far as my training regimen. I'm going to show you a picture of me running a marathon. I am hardcore into CrossFit right now, hammering it type stuff, like ranked pretty decent for a guy that's almost 40 in our area. So people want what we have, but it's our responsibility to teach them. All right. BJ said the ultimate objective of getting any sick person well and of any diseases in an organ is to have a steady, consistent, continuous, normal quality of flow of mental impulses supply between the brain and sickness. Do you guys understand that? The power of that? I'm going to give you some BJ and DG quotes, and I'm going to give you some science guys quotes, but this is stuff he wrote years ago. Right? We have to understand, right, the safety pin cycle. That's what it's that. What we do is so powerful, but yet so simple. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling to a patient when you explain it, because it is what we do is so simple, but yet has so much power to affect somebody and change who they are. Right, Dee? Nerves, like all material substances, are composed of particles, atoms, and molecules which vibrate, oscillate. When nerves are in normal condition, known as tone, normal tension impulses are transmitted by vibration in normal manner with usual force. You guys got to own this stuff. Your team needs to own this stuff. How many CAs have been read or taught any of DD or BJ stuff? 5? 6? Think we're getting an A in our class, guys? Gals? Right? Are we worthy of what we do? We got to be spreading it. Life, DD, the result of vital force, spiritual energy expressed in organic matter. We are organic matter, and it's that life flowing from above down, inside out in our bodies that gives us, it helps us express who we are. Right? And if we're not expressing that, we're not in full existence. Right? If you're at the grocery store, subluxated person. I'm subluxated, my atlas subluxated, I got a headache. I'm at the grocery store, the person in front of me is buying a bunch of meds. That person's going to go home and commit suicide. I have a headache so bad because I'm subluxated, not taking care of myself. I'm not going to engage that person and ask them what's going on in their life. So that person goes home and takes their life. So if I'm clear and I can engage with people, do you think I'm going to impact somebody's life? We have to be clear to be the max expression of who we are. If I'm not giving my patients 100% of who I am, I shouldn't be doing it. And all that goes for you guys. We have to be expressing 100% ourselves to pour into those people. You have to be. Chiropractic overutilization, right? How many visits do the insurance companies want us to have? No, none. In Washington, 6, 12 maybe, right? Dr. Mark, I'm going to call some of you guys out. How long have you been to get adjusted, brother?
20 years.
How often do you get adjusted? I'm not very good at math, so some mathematicians here are going to have to help me with this.
Check 2 or 3 times a week.
So 20 years, 3 times a week, that's 150 visits a year times 20 years. That's a lot of freaking adjustments. Is that overutilization?
I haven't had a cold in 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, we're taking an Advil in 20 years.
Me either.
Red wine? Maybe, but...
Seriously, guys. So anybody else? Right? I don't know all your names. Who else wants to talk about how many times they've been getting adjusted? Come on, somebody speak up. Interactive here. Doc. 27 years being adjusted 3 times a week for 27 years. That is a lot of adjustments. I'm the same way, 3 times a week since 94. And I don't get adjusted necessarily every time, but I get checked 3 times a week. Anybody else?
At least once a week.
Exactly. So 52 visits a year, 25 years. Thousands, Dr. Tim?
42 years.
Is chiropractic slut back there or what? No. We all have those patients, right? Morning and afternoon. No.
I got one 7 times a week at this check. Every
You know
shift
what?
I have.
When I'm expressing not feeling 100%, I get checked every shift. At the end of every shift.
I have a patient that's been adjusted since she was 16. Her first adjustment was by BJ Palmer. She's been adjusted twice a week, and she's 84.
Exactly. Is that overutilization? Right? Why don't they understand what we understand? Why doesn't that community get that? Right? He hasn't been sick in 20 years. I haven't been sick in 20-some years. Matt, all of us are the same way. Yeah, a little cold here and there is no big deal, but not sick. Right? And we're getting it. And yes, we got to eat right and exercise, do all, meditate, do all those things to, keep the other components of the body well. But that subluxation is a key component, or the lack of the subluxation is a key component. Right? So do your people get that? You guys, people need to understand that. The people I see the biggest miracles in my practice are people that have been coming to me 2-3 times a week for 13 years. They get it and understand it and won't be without it. What's up? Another glass of wine? That's my Advil. Nice. Who's had a chiropractic miracle this week? He knows where I'm going with this. Every friggin' person in this office, in this room, whether the DC or CA or whatnot, if you've been adjusted this week or today, every adjustment is a miracle. Because we do not know what's happening to our body chemistry when we're getting adjusted, other than it's being improved. So every adjustment, it doesn't have to be the whatever cleared, right? Those are magnificent miracles that we call in my office. Right? But every adjustment is a miracle, you guys. Do not devalue the power of what you hold in your hands or instrument or whatever you're doing. Right? Every adjustment, there's a miracle happening in that person's body. It's moving them closer to where they're supposed to be as far as their health is concerned. And that's not for you to decide. I still have people that are symptomatic, right? But it's not for me to decide. I'm not their healer. Do not take credit for what's happening in their bodies. Their body is their healer. So every adjustment, you guys need to own that. Your team needs to own that. People will show up in droves at your office if you're communicating that to them, with or without symptoms. I'm not smiling enough. My wife told me to make sure I smile because I kind of get fired up. That means no. A couple chuckles. We having fun? Yeah. All right. So there's a story of a young boy or teenager got a job striping roads. And have you heard this story? So the first day of work, he shows up, and he is gangbusters. He paints miles of roads. And his boss is like, dang, what is up with that kid? He is a rock star. Next day comes back, and he paints another, not as much as he did the first day, but again, miles of roads. And his boss is like, hey, if you keep this amount of work up, we're going to make you a partner in the company, and we're going to reward you for your hard work. Okay, cool. Comes back the next day, and he does a good job, but it's not quite as much. The next day, it's not quite as much. And the next day, it's not quite as much as again. So finally the boss says, hey, we've been at this 2 weeks, and the first day you painted the most, and the next day it just progressively has gotten less and less and less and less over time. He says, what's the deal? He goes, the bucket keeps getting further away. Some of you guys got it, right? So he was walking all the way back to the bucket, and then walking all the way back and painting, and then walking all the way back. So the point being, the bucket is our principle. The bucket is your green books. The bucket is you understanding who we are, right? And you getting down the road is life. It is freaking pharmaceutical commercials. It is your patients beating you up. It is your parents not understanding what you do. It's patients coming in and telling you're a quack. It's whatever that crap is, right? And that's why it's important that we keep our source with us every day. Every day. If we're not re-dipping ourselves, our paint stripes are going to get less and less as we go out in the world. We have to continuously dip ourselves and our principles so that we are as strong as we can be to impact them. Again, because I want them to have 100% of who I am every day. All right. Man, I'm going longer than I thought. I got to hurry up. Matt told me I had an hour or an hour and a half. All right, we're almost 9. So let's bang through some of this. And I'm doing this for docs, but mainly CAs, right? Again, because CAs need to be twice as strong as the docs. So here's some science, right? So posture is connected to back pain, headaches, and depression. Every physiological function from breathing to hormonal function. Whole body regulation is dependent on posture, most notably blood pressure, headaches, lung capacity, and mood. How many people see people's moods improve after regular chiropractic care? Every single one of us, right? Understand this stuff. Caliet, lordotic curves in the neck and low back are necessary for all functions of the body. Forward head posture adds up to 30 pounds of abdominal leverage. Forward head posture decreases lung function by 30%, and forward head posture decreases bowel function, right? Normal movements. Every movement's a good movement, even a bowel movement, so we have to have those. All right. Gosh, I'm getting a few people to laugh. Come on now. All right, watch this. Oh, come on, play for me. Keep watching. I can give it to you, but I have to kill you. It's a CBP thing. Dr. Mark, actually, Hubbard in here. Matt, what do you see there?
Decreased life.
Exactly. That person is what? Dying, you guys. If I take that back to that, I don't know if I can do it backwards. Right? That is health. Normal, healthy curve. Wolff's Law, we get subluxated. The spine gets out of its normal position. The body will go through degenerative changes 3 to 7% a year. 3 to 7% a year. Our body's going to get rotten like that. Compromising brain communication in the body and body to brain. They're lacking life. They're lacking health, vitality, mentality, spirituality, whatever. They are not who they were created and designed and given the ability to be. And if you're not getting out and telling them to get well, and you can fix that over time, then we're not doing our job at 100%. Greg, neurological deficits arise from overstretching the spinal cord. Normal flexion extension, the canal undergoes 2 to 3 inches of change in length. This affects all, and what's all mean? All means all. The way from mesencephalon to the cornus medullus and the pons. Oh, Matt, can you cut the lights?
Are we going to test our C? Is there a test for our C?
Ha no, I won't do that to him.
Is there sound to this?
I don't know. Oh, you know what? You turned it way down
Yeah.
because of and maybe cut the lights.
Turn the lights down to make.
Whatever. I mean, they can see it. Do you guys like videos? What? I got a couple of videos in here.
Go for it.
Everybody seen I Am Legend? Will Smith?
Singer?
Damien?
His father,
You lying to me. Don't make me hurt you.
his father.
No.
Oh, that is unacceptable.
I'm bringing too much heat. I'm bringing too much heat.
That's out
They don't
of
seem
me.
engaged.
That's not enough heat.
That's what I'm saying. They don't seem engaged. Do I need to watch something? Come on.
You don't recognize that. Wow. Kia's kind of a virologist's idea. He believed that you could cure racism and hate, literally cure it, by injecting music and love into people's lives.
Chiropractic.
When they was scheduled to perform at a peace rally, gunmen came to his house and shot him down. 2 days later, he walked out on that stage and sang. Somebody asked him why. He said, the people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I? Light up the darkness.
That's what we're up against. The medical community does not take a frickin' day off. Why should we? I'm going to give you some stuff, but that is what motivates me, because I know that if I don't get up and if I'm not, again, as best as I can be, I'm going to fail somebody. Because Pharmakia does not take a day off. Just today, I'm friggin', right, eating my scrambled eggs and fruit to Hard Rock. Place is kind of fun, huh? Puberty too soon. This whole article talking about why 8-year-old girls are having periods, right? Because of obesity, because of meds, because of lifestyle, stuff that we own. It's our job. Or, right, go to the bookstore, right? Johnson & Johnson, within a, let's see, more than 50 recalls in 15 months. 50 recalls in 15 months. Are you guys telling this stuff to your people? Do your patients understand and know what's happening out there? Right? Because they are trying to get every kid on Ritalin or antidepressant. Every single one of them. Because their innate is expressing the way it's supposed to, and they're wanting to suppress them. Pharmakia, Big Pharma, whatever you want to call them, is trying to take over. And it's our job to stand up, because they are not taking a day off. You have to find your anchor, all right? Because who can anchor to an unanchored mind? Does everybody understand what an anchor is? Does everybody have an anchor? Dr. Mark, what's your anchor? And his kids. Dr. Matt. Steve, right? Brian, sorry.
My family. Friends and family.
Right, anybody else want to share? That anchor is what should motivate you, should inspire you, should encourage you to run the extra mile, to get up earlier than anybody else, right? You know, he was just at a Maximize Living training. Dr. Zano taught, he was up at 4:15 to go climb that mountain, right? He's doing that to make himself better. Right? What is your anchor? And keep that in your frontal lobe so you know what it is. Right? So then you're getting punched and beat up and kicked in the nuts. You're like, duh, that hurt, but I'm going to keep going. Right? Because we have to. If not us, who? The PTs? The DOs? Who's it going to be? Who's going to stand firm? My previous coaching program I had for 3 years was Firm Foundation Coaching. And if you look at Dee Dee's eulogy, what's the pastor that did his eulogy thing, said the adjustment places and stands you on a firm foundation. Right? We have to stand firm in who we are. Right? We have to find that anchor. And again, everybody's is different. Mine's my family as well. Right? But it's about that next kid. Yes, Dr. Matt.
You know, I was going to say, really, my anchors, and I think it's for pretty much everyone, because, God gave us the talent, and I think, if you waste it, we'll be
Exactly.
And so that's really, it becomes out a big anchor, had to be that calling on all our lives, on my life definitely, and I will be held accountable. It's like,
Job well done, my faithful son.
exactly.
Right? Do you want to show, you're given the talents, you're given the treasure, are you going to go bury it? We're going to talk about that. Convenient you bring that up. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. You're going to go hide it? You're going to thresh wheat in your friggin' wine press, or you're going to get out in the wheat field and be bold? Right? So find that anchor. Let it create a fire in your belly. You guys, let it just motivate you so that you do uncommon things. Right? Because all of us are common people, but we want to do uncommon things. And until we're doing uncommon things, in my opinion, we're living in mediocrity. And we're not called to meet, Dr. Matt, what's Jesus say about mediocrity? You're neither lukewarm or hot, you make me want to vomit.
Well, I thought it was once you licked the lollipop, you suck forever.
that too, right? But Jesus says we're neither we're neither hot nor cold. We're lukewarm. You make me want to puke or spew myself. Right? We have to decide who we are and move forward. But let that light a fire in your belly. I'm going to burn through these, right? Children off label drugs. 3/4 of prescription drugs on the market do not have labeling indications for children, leaving their use in children to physicians' discretion. Stuff is disgusting, you guys. That came out of JAMA. Right? Off-label drugs again for kids. Almost 80% of hospitalized kids get drugs that are not approved for pediatric use. Using drugs that have been insufficiently studied in children has contributed to adverse outcomes which have been documented in the medical literature. Again, that's Journal of Pediatrics. Children's deaths caused by medical errors. Right? Hospital medical errors are responsible for deaths of nearly 4,500 children in the United States every year. The bottom line is that none of these events should have happened. And they wouldn't happen if we were getting off our fat butts and doing our job. Getting into your community like many offices you guys are, but all of us need to come together and get in our communities and teach. Set up these talks. This is a phenomenal place. I'm sure Dr. Matt will let you come in here and teach to your communities. Every office should be doing talks in here. Or you guys should, better yet, come together and do them as groups. Right? Because it's not just Dr. Matt or Dr. Mark, Dr. Brian speaking. It's everybody. Right? And there's power in numbers. All right, adverse drug reactions in children. A recent review of studies concerning the reasons for pediatric hospitalization. Children under the age of 19 found that 2.09% of all pediatric hospitalizations were caused by adverse drug reactions, and 39% of those were life-threatening. I'm going to ask you this. So if you go throughout your day, and there was a kid that came in and was talking about mom, probably more than the kid, talking about vaccines, talking about taking a drug, and you didn't speak your mind, could you sleep that night? Knowing that that kid might be the next kid that doesn't wake up? I'm not going to ask you to answer that, but take that home. And you don't have to be right or wrong, and you don't have to convince that mom, but it's your job to share your truth of what you know. And none of us can prescribe. None of us can tell them to take meds or not to take meds. But you can say, if it was me, if it was my kid, this is what I would do. Have you researched the effects of that? What could happen? Because if we don't, and she comes in 2 weeks later, she misses appointments for 2 weeks, comes in, you're like, Mary, what's going on? Little Johnny, right? Have you guys all seen the Dr. Jackson, the guy that spoke down here, his boy took the antibiotics and died at, was he 2.5, 3 years old? What was it? Wyatt, right? Who's the next Wyatt? Because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We have to step up and play big. Deaths and side effects. Studies suggest the FDA's adverse events reporting system database captures only 1 to 10% of the drug-induced side effects. 1 to 10% is all that's recorded. Right? 1%, 1 to 10%. So if there's, the next slide talks about 100,000 deaths. Oops, excuse me, this one's on the Vioxx. Vioxx caused as many as 60,000 deaths. Right? So multiply that times 10. It's only 10% of them are recorded. 100,000 people every year die as a result of prescription drugs that are properly given. Properly. Well, what's normal? What's proper? This should light a fire in all of you guys. I touched on it earlier. Again, Dr. Jim Temple gave me this. This is the Mayo Clinic. And it's kind of, is anybody, who's seen this?
I'll read it out loud.
You want me to read it out loud?
Loud.
Loud? Loud! All right. So chiropractic treatment, and I tried to get, it was a funky format, so I tried to get Dr. Mark to print it for me, but it didn't work. It says chiropractic treatment is based on the concept that restricted, and excuse me if I kind of stumble because I'm blurry-eyed as well. Restricted movement in the spine may lead to pain and reduced function. Spinal adjustment is one form of therapy. This is talking about chiropractic now. Chiropractors use to treat restricted spinal mobility. The goal is to restore spinal movement and, as a result, improve function and decrease back pain. During the adjustment, chiropractors use their hands to apply controlled, sudden force to the joint. This maneuver often results in a cracking sound that may be the separation of the joint surfaces, not, as many people think, cracking joints. Although this sound is common, it doesn't have to occur for the treatment to be successful. Sarcasm there, guys. Some chiropractors use instruments to adjust the spine. These methods have not been studied and are of uncertain value. Chiropractors may use massage and stretching to reduce muscle spasms that are short-ended or in spasm. Many of the additional treatments as well, such as exercise, ultrasound, and electrical stimulation. As with any medical specialist, select a chiropractor who is willing to work with members of your healthcare team. It is becoming more common to see chiropractors practicing alongside other medical providers. Maybe make sure you're comfortable with the recommendations, including how many sessions you'll need for acute low back pain. 4 to 6 sessions are typical enough. Dr. Mark, again, how many thousands of times you've been adjusted? Me as well. Be questionable of chiropractors who ask to extend your treatment indefinitely. Right, guys, this is coming from the Mayo Clinic. You guys, this is what they're saying about us. It says, when limited to low back pain, chiropractic adjustments has few risks. However, manipulation of the neck has been associated with injury to blood vessels supplying to the brain. Rarely neck manipulation may cause a stroke. All right, so that's what the Mayo Clinic is saying about us. Are you guys in congruence with that? No. All right, so now let's read what they're saying about a DO. It says, if this doesn't freaking light a fire in your freaking belly and get you pissed, compassionate, right? I don't know what will. Listen to what they say. It says, doctors of osteopathy, also known as DOs, and you can find them in medical institutions throughout the country, including the Mayo Clinic. So they're working for them in the Mayo Clinic, all right? Doctors of osteopathy are fully trained in conventional medical care as well as osteopathic medicine. Osteopathic medicine focuses on the whole person, the mind as well as the body, rather than solely on a set of symptoms. It combines conventional medicine, including the use of prescription medications, with spinal manipulation and the attention to proper posture and body positioning. Osteopaths use specialized manipulative techniques to facilitate the return of body to normal motion and function in order to allow the body to heal itself. Osteopathic manipulation is often more rhythmic and less abrupt than a chiropractic technique. Osteopathic manipulation is designed to affect the whole person. Physiological changes are often associated after a treatment, including changes in mood, altered nervous system activity, and altered sensory experience. After an injury or illness, there is a natural tendency to focus on the part of the body that is injured or the origin of the illness, or to try to ignore the osteopathic manipulation. Losing my picture. After an injury or illness, there's a natural tendency to focus on the part of the body that's injured or the origin of the illness, or to try to ignore it. Osteopathic manipulation attempts to put the individual back in touch with his or her entire body in order to aid healing.
I think they just switched them on accident.
Yeah. But that's what they're producing and publishing, and that's what they're saying about us.
What month is that?
That was just a few months ago. That was, it was like 2 months ago.
March, I think. Or February.
I think it was January or February. Aren't you guys, anybody pissed off about that? I mean, that's what they think of us. And that's what they think of a stinking DO. Their adjustments are less forceful than ours. They're restoring the body to normal position and function. Let that light that fire so that you get up and work harder than you've ever worked before. Again, if you don't see kids, you suck. How many of you guys go to hospital and adjust kids? And you better raise your hands. Every pregnant mother in my office, I show up right after the baby's born. They don't know what I'm doing. My activator's in my pocket. I walk in, my dermatemp, check them, adjust them, and out. Anybody want me to come up here and let me pull on your head this hard? Think that's going to subluxate you? And you better teach your people. Your spinal care class, your whatever you're doing, better be teaching people that.
Is the woman upside down in that picture?
I don't know.
She's standing on her head.
But look at how much rotation is in that kid's neck and the traction on their friggin' brachial plexus and their entire cervical spine. You kidding me? And you got build relationships with naturopaths, with doulas, with all these people, and encourage your people to do home births and all that stuff that we know to be true and healthy and right. But again, most of our patients are going to have an experience like this for their kids. And so if you're not checking kids, you got to check yourself. Because there's a subluxation between the 5 inches between your ears. Yes, Dr. Matt.
We just had an ICPA seminar here, and the lady teaching it was saying that the new procedure for all torticollis babies, if they're stuck in torticollis, is to cut the SCM.
Yeah.
And she's saying that
Which friggin' stabilizes posture, which affects every frickin' function in it.
it's proved that it could take anywhere from 1 to 6 adjustments to release the atlas, to rebalance the inhibition of the nerve, and balance the neck on a baby. And for every, she straight up told us, for every torticollis baby that gets cut here in San Diego, it's our fault. And she says you should go to bed sleeping every night knowing you missed another one, you missed another one, you missed another. They don't cut the whole SCM, but they cut maybe 50%, 60% of the muscle fibers.
You guys-
They'll never be the same. They might never be able to play sports because they can't put a helmet on because their neck is unstable.
Exactly.
And every one of those babies that goes in for Children's Hospital gets their torticollis cut is our responsibility.
Guys, you have to let this stuff resonate in you so that you do something that, I don't mind speaking, but speaking isn't fun in front of people, right? But do I do this for me? No, I'm doing this to hopefully come down. And you know what? Might only be one of you guys that I inspire to get up and be better than you are today. But if it's just one of you, then that's worth the time and away from my family and the money it costs me to stay down here. You guys got to get excited and get motivated for what we have. Right? Because they're trying to steal what we have. Because they're finding out more and more every day that it works. And if we want to survive, we got to get bold. We got to step up and play big. Put our huevos out there and just say, I don't care what people say, think, or do. I'm gonna speak my opinion in my mind. And again, if you don't see kids, you suck. I'm gonna text Billy tonight and tell him I said it like 5 times. Right, John Cougar, right, said stand for something or fall for everything. Right, if we don't stand up for even one thing, this is what happens for our patients. Right, whether it's their health, whether it's work, right? People that are ungrounded fall for everything. So we have to stand up, stick your chest out, shoulders back, head up, and stand up for something. Right? And let it be chiropractic. Let it be the principle of who we are in what we do. I think I might have another video here, but we should be good. Nope. All right. Right, this is my neighborhood. Well, this was an airport when I was traveling speaking. Right? This is the gas station 100 yards from my office. They're freaking vaccinating at the Albertson gas station. You guys, unstinking believable.
You get a free shot when they fill up.
Yeah, exactly. They're filling you up with poison, exactly. Does anybody know what this is? No? It's a wine press. Israel. It's a wine press in Israel. And why I put this up here, it's not about you. And the story I'm going to share is about everybody, Gideon. Everybody's familiar with Gideon? Judges talks about Gideon. What was Gideon doing? Gideon was afraid because the Midianites had came into his community and crushed them repetitively. Right? It's us, right? We are Gideon. We've been crushed repetitively by the Mayo Clinic, by friggin' way too many MDs, right? So a lot of us want to go hide. So these four walls right here, that's your office. Because it's comfortable. It's warm. I can say what I want. Nobody's going to pick on me in here. Right? But if you're on that perimeter, you step out of your office, you close the door, go home at night. Are you sharing out here what you were sharing in there? Because Gideon wasn't. He was. So the story is Gideon was threshing wheat. And wheat is designed to be threshed out in the open. Right? You go out in the fields and you thresh that wheat. But he was living in fear. Right? False evidence appearing real. Because the Midianites had come in repetitively, taken his food, taken the women, taken the animals, and destroyed their communities. So out of fear, he was living in those four walls. Afraid to get out and to speak who he was. And the Lord said, mighty man of valor, get off your butt and get out there and defeat them. Right? So he took 300 soldiers, right? And biblically it says that the Midianites, there were so many, it looked like grains of sand, right? And defeated them. But it wasn't until he got bold, removed the fear, and stood up for who he was and what was given to him to defeat them. So I want to ask you guys again tonight, are you just hiding in your little four walls of your practice? Are you being bold and getting out and talking in your community and running to people in grocery stores or the gas station or wherever else? What are you doing to put your out there? Put it all on the line. Hold nothing back. Right? Are you doing this? That's my office. 100 yards away from that. You know the comments I get? I get comments all the time. Do I care? Screw them is my mentality. Right? You freaking better be bold and doing crap like that and standing up for who you are. You know how many new patients I get when I do that? Flu season? I want my flu adjustment. I want my flu adjustment. What's a flu adjustment? Right? That's putting them out there. You know. Okay, so here's my office. You know what's directly across the street? Legacy Medical Hospital. Stand up for who you are and what you believe in. It'd be way easier for me to put my head in the sand and roll with it. But can I sleep with myself at night? Do I feel like I've done everything I can do if I'm doing that? Can I look myself in the mirror before I go to bed and say, job well done? I used the talents I was given? Or did I go bury them? Because I was afraid. Stand up for who we are congruently as a team. This is one, it's not Mark, Matt, Paul, Brian, right? We are a team. Chiropractic team. Until all of our offices are so busy that we have to hire more docs, send more docs to school.
I'm too weak, too slow, too big. I ate too much for breakfast. Got a headache. It's raining. Dog is sick. I can't right now. It's not inspired. It makes me smell bad. I'm allergic to stuff. I'm fat. I'm thin. It's too hot. I'm not right. I've got gingival and a headache. I'm distracted. I'm exerting myself too much. I love to really, but I can't. I just can't. My favorite show is on. I got a case of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I don't want to do this. Do something else. Happy New Year. Next week. I make a mistake. I got home where I feel bloated. I have gas. I got a hot day. Coach hates me. Mom won't let me. I bruise easily. It's too dark. It's too cold. My blister hurts. This is dangerous. Sorry, I don't have a bike. I didn't get enough sleep. My tummy hurts. It's not my jeans. I don't want to look all tired out. I need a better coach. I don't like getting tackled. I have a stomach ache. I'm not the athletic type. I want to get sweaty. I have better things to do. I don't want to slow you down. I have to do this. As soon as I get a promotion, I think I'll sit this one out. And my feet hurt.
Do your friggin' feet hurt? Are you not training? Are you not training like lives depend on it because they do? I can, I will, I must. You guys got to write that down. You got to resonate with that every day. I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. You have to. Because if not you, who? You need to take pride. I better start stepping up. You better take pride. Personal responsibility and daily excellence in everything you do. You don't have to be obsessive compulsive, but take pride in who you are and what you do, in the adjustment, in the exam, in the communication, in your personal life. Because the pain of discipline is way better and way easier than the pain of regret. It is way better than going to bed knowing that kids are getting their SEMs cut because you didn't tell that mom that you could help her kid. Stand up, train. Team needs to train. Doctor, daily preparation. Right before you get in the office. We call this our SEP, spiritual, emotional, physical training. You have to be prepared for the game. Right? You don't just, I had that picture of me playing ball. I didn't just show up on Saturdays in college and expect to get the job done. Right? We trained year-round for the game day. You're adjusting hours or whatever. That's your game time. That's when, so the outside, your lunches, your before, your after shift, that's your preparation. That's your training. Right? As a man thinks, so is he. What are you putting in your brain? Right? Are you thinking lack? Are you thinking abundance? I'm receiving 10 new patients today. We're going to see X amount of people. Our office is receiving healings today. People are getting well. Are you guys putting that stuff in your brains? Are you your team? Right? We talked about this already, but what's your goal and your vision? Right? Do you have that set? Right? I want to see X amount. I want to this week, and I want to see this many patients. I want to collect this much. I want to have this many miracles. Right? And Ron used to teach me when I was early in practice to be specific. Right? A dark-haired gal named Mary's coming in. She's going to call at 3 o'clock. All that kind of stuff. You got to be specific in your goal setting. Unless you're specific, it's not going to happen. It's like a prayer, right? It's like all of us meditate or prayer, or most of us do, right? And just a global prayer, the Lord doesn't know how to answer that, but if you're specific in what you're praying for, your request, you're going to get those answers. Be specific. Act as if. That's another lesson that Ron taught me that I do to this day. I want to see X amount. I want a Porsche. I want a whatever. Act as if. I want to see 100 people in a day. Right? You're only seeing 5 right now. So what are you doing? Are you talking more? Are your procedures not set that you can see that 100 a day or 200 or 300 or wherever you're at? Are you shadow adjusting in between? Right? So you got to see 50 in the morning, 50 at night. Right now you're seeing 5 in the morning, 5 at night. Are you doing things? Are you acting as if? Your mindset, you got to train the mind. The mind controls you. You got to act as if. Dr. Rob Schiffman taught me this one as I wanted to take it to the way next level. He said, fake it till you make it. Again, it's just act as if. You are the boss. I was new in practice, getting out and talking to people. There's some fear in there, but you had to fake it. You had to act like you were that expert until you owned that you were that expert. You guys, you got to get after it. Right? And docs, you have to lead. Unless we are completely 110% incongruent in living the lifestyle that we're trying to encourage and teach our patients to live, they're not going to follow. And I would be blessed enough to say that maybe one of the reasons that I have as big as practice as I have is because I do my best every single day to live that lifestyle. So that I have people want what we have, but if we don't live what we teach that we have, they're not going to follow us. People want it. People want somebody in their life that they can bond to, so that they can hold on to their shirt tails and let them drag them. They're looking for leaders. And if you're only functioning at 90%, your team's going to function at 60, 70%. So it's our job, docs, to be at 100% so we can continuously pull our team up. Right? Because we lead them. It's you, your team, and your patients. 6 Ps. My wrestling coach taught me this when I was a sophomore. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Again, it's goal setting, it's mindset, knowing where you're going to go before you get there. Because if you're not planning, you're not preparing, you're not going to get there. You're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. Never, ever take credit in your office. Because I tell my patients, they'll come in and, doc, thanks for this, thanks for that, blah, blah, blah. I am the janitor. It's my job to locate, detect, and remove the subluxation and allow the body to do what it's supposed to. I'm merely cleaning the body up, giving it its already the ability and talents and tools that it has to do what it's supposed to do. You are janitors. We are Harvey Lillard. We're cleaning up the building. Right? Because if you start taking credit, if you start, it was me, what happens to you? What gets inflated? Ego. What's ego stand for, Dr. Matt? Edging God out. It's not about you guys. You guys need to be humble servants, transparent to your people. Let them know that you're not perfect. Right? You're just doing everything you can every day to become better. And be the fanatic. Dr. Mark's a fanatic. Dr. Matt's a fanatic. I know I'm a stinking fanatic. The person that best taught me this, everybody know Ray Wisnowski? Anybody know Ray Wisnowski? Dude, you got to get Ray out here. Ray will light it up. He's in Pennsylvania and practiced 20-some years. Owns like 5 clinics. The guy has more energy than Energizing Bunny. But he talked on this years ago, and we were hanging out, and he's like, people want to go to the fanatic. It's like, if you're going to get your car fixed, you're going to buy a brand new twin-turbo Porsche, are you going to take it to the freaking mechanic down the street, or are you going to find out and locate and detect the guy that lives and breathes Porsches? You're going to find the guy that lives and breathes, and his life evolves around Porsches. And you're going to go to that guy, right? We need to be the chiropractic fanatic. We need to be so fanatical about what we do that we got a gigantic vacuum. People are just being sucked into your office because you're putting out so much energy about who you are. Then there's no stinking lack with the economy. I'm having the last year and this year so far being the best years I've ever had in practice. Be a fanatic. Get excited about what we have, right? Your sacred circle. This is for the doctors. Unfortunately, there's a lot of apathetic chiropractors out there, and you're driving and striving to be the best you can be, and they're going to bring you down. You need to protect yourself from somebody that's apathetic and not incongruent with who you are. There's nothing worse. And unfortunately, chiropractors are a lot like churches, right? Meaning that they all want to talk about their volume. And so you start talking about volume, and somebody starts throwing darts at you. That's when you start getting board complaints because the knucklehead down the street is seeing 5 a week, you're seeing 500 a week, and he's pissed. It can't be done. You can't provide quality care. You can't blah, 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 blah. You need to protect. This is a sacred circle in here. Right? And in my group we have at home, it's a sacred circle. This is for you guys to build each other up, stay strong, encourage, strengthen, support brothers and sisters in what we do. Right? And outside of here, try and bring those people in, but do not let them break that sacred trust. Fat guy running a marathon. That was no fun. But I did it because I'm too stubborn not to. And if you look, it's pouring down rain. That's Portland in October. It's not sunny like here, how many every days a week. Anyhow, so put that up there because of training, because a guy that's 220 pounds, 6'3", should not be running marathons, but I will not be told no in anything in life. All right, team, together everyone achieves more. Everybody must be congruent. We talked about this, but you guys all have to be congruent in who you are and what you do. You must train, and if you're not congruent, you're never going to achieve your goals. Because if the doctor wants to see 500 a week, but the team only thinks they can do enough work to see 200 a week, you're going to stay at 200 a week. All right, everybody's got to be congruent. When I went, and Ben Lerner taught me this. It was Ben, or maybe it was Dan, who came and spoke here a couple months ago, the actor. Said that when I first started training those guys, and we're talking about congruency, he said, go home, have a team meeting on Monday. Here's the plan, here's where we're going. Who wants to be part of it? If somebody doesn't raise their hand, go express your potential elsewhere. right? Because you cannot be held back. If there's an Achan in the camp, right? Another biblical principle, you got to get Achan out of the camp. It's not right or wrong. There's no hard feelings. But if a company, do you think Nike, Phil Knight, is in my backyard? Think if his head guy wasn't on board with where he wanted to go, he would keep him around? No. How about Apple? No way. Microsoft? No way. They're not going to keep somebody that fundamentally key to their business around if they're not on the same page. So everybody's got to be congruent. You have to train, team. We train a minimum 2 hours a week. Minimum. Scripting, role-playing, from answering the phone to we ask patients questions on day one before they go back for the exam, to the consultation, to the exam, to the scheduling for their report of findings with their spouse, to scheduling the spinal care class, to whatever. You've got to do that. Daily huddle. How many of you guys huddle before shift? Okay, everybody needs to start. One thing you take away from me today. You guys come together as a team, look at your schedule, and huddle. That huddle is for 2 reasons. One, setting goals. Okay, we have 100 on the books. We want to see 115 today. We got 2 new patients. We want to see 5. We got 3 re-exams. Here they are. Here's the time they're coming. So the doc and the paperwork's pulled. We have 2 financial consultations. We have a business office. Whatever it is, set your goals, see what's going on so your people know. Well, they don't know that you know that you're doing this, but so that you guys are ready for them, so that you can serve them to the max when they show up. All right, prepared for your goals, your vision, for your new patients, your re-exams, etc. What's the office look like? Is it clean? Are you guys organized? Or do you look like you're in a state of disarray? Right? You got to cultivate before you germinate. You got to cultivate the office before it produces. You got to be feeding it and stimulating, encouraging it, watering it. Right? You got to be doing these things so that your little bit of heaven can express itself, like BJ would say. We need to be common people doing uncommon things. We need to put our people before profits, like Tom talked about. Right? Pay or not, smell good, don't smell good. We need to put our people before our profits and be proactive versus reactive. Right? Confront that patient. We all know when there's a disconnect with a patient. Right, teams, would you agree? That you know, or docs, that you know, you can feel, you have that sense there's a disconnect, whether they're going to blow out of care, whether they're going to get behind on finances. Be proactive. Confront them, talk to them. Is that your vision? Is that your office? I know that's Matt and Mark's. I don't know many, but I know Matt and Mark are busy. That's people lined up to get to their offices. Are you guys visualizing that? You guys got to see people lined up. The masses showing up to get the adjustment and live the way they're intended to. Communication, right? You have to adjust the mind more than the flesh, right? Because unless we're making mental changes in them, they're not going to completely change. Your communication with the farmer is different than the communication with the CEO. I teach our clients that the way you talk to a farmer is going to be completely different than the way you talk to the CEO of Microsoft or Apple or whoever. It's down here. Oop. Right? The way we talk to men is different than the way we talk to women. This next one is huge. Quit yawning, Dr. Mark. Are you speaking life into your people?
I'm here for you.
And you ain't going to bed till 1 tonight, brother. So we're hanging after this. Oh, geez. Are you speaking life into your people, especially the kids? Hey, good looking. Hey, superstar. Hey, rock star. You know, these encouraging words. We got to lift them up. I don't call a kid by their first name. It's always solely. It's always, hey, rock star, hey, superstar, turbo. Yeah, something that's lifting them up, speaking life into them, because it's, you know, at school they're not getting life spoken into them. Most of them don't have parents that are speaking life into them. So we need to have somebody speaking life into these kids if we're going to really impact who they are. So you have to be speaking life in these kids. Exactly. Champ. All that stuff. Right? And again, if you don't see kids, you suck. Day one is key. Right? You have to set that foundation of who you are, what your office stands for, okay, so that they don't blow. The exam takeaway. Perfect example of this is Apple right now. iPad 2 comes out, build up all this, you know, enthusiasm and excitement to get it, and then you go to the store, oh, sorry, get here at 6 in the morning. Oh, sorry, get here at 6 in the morning, and it just creates that want. Yeah. What I'm saying with this, and this is out of true honesty, but in an exam, Do you know until you've done your exam if you can help them or not? No. And we tell them that. I say, Mary, great. I see that you come in with X, Y, and Z. Dr. Nima is going to do X, Y, and Z, and we're going to determine if we can accept your case. And now we won't know if we can accept your case until we've evaluated your problem, and we're going to schedule you to come back with your spouse on Tuesday at 5 to go over that with us. Okay? Okay. So I'll see you Tuesday at 5 with your spouse, right? Great. Right? But I don't know until we've done my exam if I can help them. If it's like, I know that chiropractic can help. We're checking the subluxation so we can help everything. But until we've thoroughly analyzed it, right, where they're subluxated, where we should adjust, maybe where we shouldn't adjust, we don't know that. Exactly. Exactly right. So you got to do takeaway. I don't know, Mary. We're going to evaluate it, and we'll see if we can accept your case. Don't, that's supposed to be assume, like ask out of you and me, anything about your patient's knowledge of tick. Again, I've been practicing 13 years. My people have been with me 13 years. Get it, but they still don't get it. And that's why every day we need to be filling them up with what we do. Newsletters, emails, posters, events. All right, so here's emotive stuff. Right, this is speaking life into people. This is pond water before and after prayer. Again, I got this stuff from Ron way back when. Thank you versus you fool. That's what the crystals of the water are doing when you're speaking life into them. We have to be speaking life into everybody we know. A little fun here. So this is the man going to the Gap to buy a pair of pants and the female, right? So this is communication skills are different, right? So the man's like, zip, I know what I want. I'm size 32, 34, I'm out. The woman's like, right? So you have to talk different to a man versus a woman, all right? All right? Our communication skills are different. All right. Or how about this one? This is the man's brain versus.
I just want to know the last time you shopped at JCPenney.
We got off tape that.
Dude, yeah. Unfortunately, in this situation, my brain sometimes works like a woman's. So you just have to find out who you are and communicate, right? Because Dr. Mark and I like to shop. We like shirts. We like clothes. My wife does not do patients are like, man, you look nice. Where'd you get that tie, that shirt? Like, your wife? I'm like, nope, she does not do my shopping. I like to shop. All right, and this next one's great too. Look at the brains. All right, you got to know how everybody's wired, right? We're all wired a little bit differently, so you have to communicate to people differently. I'm glad you guys are finally laughing. All right. What's that, Matt? Turkey. All right. You guys, we got to have fun and practice, right? Don't, as BJ said, don't take yourself so damn seriously. We got to have fun, right? Our candles burn out like that, and and I get serious and compassionate and intense, but every day's got to be fun. I'm going to give you guys some examples of things that we do in our office. So the top 2 or 3, we do a Dunk the Dock event every year. If you don't do one of those, California is amazing weather for that. Yes, Dr. Matt should be in a dunk tank, but you rent a dunk tank, you pump it up all week. People, if they come in to get adjusted, they get a ticket, all right? And if they refer in a new patient, they get 3 tickets type of thing. And those tickets equal balls at the event, right? You got the dunk tank, right? And on the day of the event, we're processing new patients on a Saturday. You can't see it, but we got food. We have a gal doing airbrush stuff. Got to have fun with your people, right? Got to have fun with them and get in the dunk tank. I guarantee you it's way colder up where I'm at than it is here. I suffer a lot more than you guys. And this is the other thing. So I jump out of there, and we go from the dunk tank, and I let the kids throw whipped cream at me, right? So my face is in that guy playing the ukulele thing there, and that Cade right there is getting me with whipped cream. Got to have fun. Down here, Santa getting adjusted. We do it, to get your picture with Santa event in the office every year. Clothes drive. We do a ladies' night. That's coming up for us around Mother's Day this year. We do it every year. It's huge. We bring in a bunch of vendors. We have wine. We do a ton of stuff. And every one of these events produces 20 plus new patients in a day, you guys. This one here, we do a March Madness. We do it around basketball. We did new patient exams from 7 to 10 at night. I have an ex-NBA player that comes in the office. He signed a bunch of balls for us. We pumped it up. If they referred in a new patient, they got entered in the drawing to win a ball signed by him. Again, I think we had like 22 new patients that night in 3 hours. You guys got to have fun with your people. And this is, my team, we set a small goal with my team, and so we all 2 weeks ago went on a Sunday afternoon, went and got pedicures, got our nails done, the entire team, right? And so then what I did is I took this picture of my team, of all of our, all of us right here with our nails done. These are mine. And I put that on my Facebook, right? I know Dr. Jason, you guys all, Jason Deitch, I'm like, posted, hey, win a free 1 hour massage if you can guess every single person's feet, every team member's feet. Gotta have fun, stimulate, you gotta have fun. All right. So we're concluding. Will you sacrifice? Does everybody know who that is? Exactly. Would you guys go to jail for what you are the principle that we hold? Would you have patients that show up to would you have patients that show up to get adjusted at the jailhouse? It's a different world today, but that man stood for who we are. I think I have one more video and one more slide, Matt. Be bold, you guys. I was taught this my freshman year at WSU. We had a professional speaker came in and said, you know what, guys? While you're here, there's only two things you have to do in this planet. You have to be born and you have to die. Those are limitations of matter. Everything else is a choice. Everything else, from what you eat, to what you do or do think, what you do or do say, everything that we do is a choice. But it's a matter of what we choose. What are we going to choose for chiropractic, you guys? What are we going to choose to change our planet? For the next kid that's subluxated? What do you choose? I stole this from Mike Reed, but it's so powerful I wanted to show it again. Or he gave it to me, I didn't steal it. Try not, do not, there is no try. Only takes one person, guys. One man can change the world. It's going to be you, one man or woman. Good stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.